Peace, 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 love, light of healing, peace, love, light of healing, peace to the gods, peace to the earth. Y'all climb on in. How y'all feeling? How y'all doing? Peace, peace, peace and blessings, family. Climb on in the building. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? Got a bunch of exciting news. Shalom, 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 Yahki. Peace to you. Mishpati, my family. How you feeling? Y'all climb on in, y'all climb on in. Make sure y'all got y'all pens and y'all pads today. I want to drop some gems on y'all. I know it's been a long time since I've been live, man. I've been super, super busy. We've been traveling. We've been on tour, doing all types of seminars, lectures. I'm actually here working on my book right now. So, you know, I'm finishing up the book. Nabi, tell them how the book going. Tell them how the book going, Nabi.
Yeah.
Let them know how the book going.
The book going great. The book is going great. It's awesome.
Yeah, so we just chilling, y'all. Y'all climb on in. I'm gonna wait for a couple more people get in the building, and we're gonna make it happen. Blessings, blessings to y'all. After I get done with this transmission, y'all can ask some questions. I'll make sure I put aside like 20 minutes to answer any questions that y'all got. As y'all can see, I just put up the poster and the link today. Click my link tree or click the link in my bio. On November the 11th, we're going to be in Cincinnati, Ohio. So make sure y'all cop your tickets. And I'm going to meet y'all there. That's going to be more of a podcast, live type of deal where y'all will see me in more of a podcast setting. But I am going to be in the building doing the podcast live for y'all. So that should be very, very interesting. I am bringing my herbs there as well. So y'all be able to buy some herbs off me. Then on the 19th of the same month of November, I'm going to be in Baltimore, Maryland. So, you know, DMV, make sure that y'all come out. Washington, D.C., come out and see me. Baltimore, Maryland, or all of Maryland, come out and see me. And Virginia, come out to see me. That is going to be on the 19th of November as well. And Net Flyer plus that Eventbrite is going to be put up tomorrow. If you go on Eventbrite and type it in, I believe it's already up, but I'm going to officially announce it tomorrow. Once I announced the Cincinnati, a bunch of y'all was in the inbox. What about DMV? Y'all forgot about us. Y'all skipped over us. No, we didn't, family. I just wanted to post that first because we knocking that out on the 11th. And then on the 19th, we're going to be in the DMV. So make sure y'all come out and see us. It's going to be in Baltimore. For those who's asking where, it's going to be in Baltimore, Maryland. The specific spot is going to be when you click the eventbrite.com. You can get on there right now and search it, or you can wait till I post it tomorrow. All right, I see we got a lot of people on here. Y'all ready to get it started? Typing some nines. If you're ready to get this deal started, typing some nines. We're trying to hit up San Diego, California in December. I got to holler at Mama Makeda. But if Mama Makeda schedule free, we're going to do something in December in California. We're going to do it at Mama Makeda's spot at the World Cultural Beat Center. All right, you got your pens and your pads, type in your nines. It's about to go down. So what I titled this video is, you're not sick. Your body is just intelligent. Let me say that again. You are not sick. Your body is just very, very intelligent. So we're going to start this off dropping a bunch of gems. This is actually the chapter that I'm working on in my book right now. So I think me going live and talking about the ideas or how the concepts that I'm bringing to the book, I think this will help me get more of a fuller picture of what I'm trying to write. So when I get done, I can literally go finish my chapter up. But the actual name of this chapter is You're Not Sick. Your body is just intelligence. The body intelligence is an amazing, peculiar, special thing that the Creator has put inside of us. You know, the body was naturally created to heal itself. And that's what I've been speaking for the last few years. That's what I've been teaching to y'all and showing and proving these things. So there is 5 steps to diseases. All right, so-called disease. And these 5 steps to so-called disease, I want y'all to write them down. So the first step is always toxicity. All right, so once you write down the first step, write down toxicity. All right, so first step, toxicity. All right, now once we get done with these 5 steps, the 5th step is disease, but we're going to end up crossing out disease and replacing it with a new word. Because remember, disease is only an illusion. Disease is just meaning your body is not flowing with ease of electricity, and the energy, or what you call the chi, the prana, can't go through the meridian pathways correctly because they have obstructions and they have some type of blockages. One of these things that's obstructing and blocking the actual lymphatic system, and the meridian pathways, or what we are called the elimination pathways of the bodies, is toxicity. All right, so I see a lot of people got toxicity. All right, the second one will always be deficiency. All right, so the first one is toxicity. The second one is deficiency. All right, so y'all write deficiency down. And once we get to 5, we're going to break it down, y'all. Y'all going to have a very, very good concept. Y'all going to understand, overstand, and understand exactly what I'm talking about. So once I see, yes, deficiency. Once I see more of deficiencies, we're going to move on to the next one. All right, so the first stage of so-called disease, because remember, disease is the 5th one, but we crossing it out and replacing it with something. So the first one is always toxicity. All right, once you see toxicity set on in the body, because remember, the body is interwoven or interconnected with the environment. So once we see environmental pollutants, once we see environmental toxicity, this creates an obstruction or a blockage in the body. And this blockage brings on an onset of deficiency. All right. Now, after the actual deficiency, what we got, y'all, we have adaptation, because the body has to live. Every cell in your body want to live, y'all. And in order for them to live, they have to adapt, just like you adapt to your environment. Just like if you have somebody that's from the jungles of Africa that moves to the high mountains of Alaska, they won't die. Their cells will just adjust and adapt to that environment. But due to that adaptation, it brings on what you will call cellular mutation. All right, so these are Jews, y'all. If you can really remember these, y'all, and I'm finna break every last one of them down, I promise you can heal your body of anything. So the first one is always toxicity. The second one brings on deficiency. Deficiency actually forces adaptation, and adaptation equals up to mutation. All right, I want y'all to write that down, right? I want to see if y'all listening. Write all 4 of those down. All right. Yes, cellular mutation. So put them in order. Start putting them in order. Type them in for you can get it in your memory. Type them in for you can get them in your memory. All right, I'm going to say it again. Toxicity brings on deficiency. Deficiency always brings on what? Adaptation. Adaptation equals cellular mutation. Cellular mutation is what they're calling diseases. And the reason why they're calling cellular mutation diseases because it comes with a bunch of either acute, you see that, subacute, chronic, or degenerative symptoms. These symptoms is what they call diseases. But what we have shown and proven is that these symptoms is nothing but a detoxification process. So I want you, number 5 was disease. Cross out disease and put in detoxification. All right. So we're going to do it again, and then we're going to break all of these down. And I'm going to show you how to heal. So the first thing is toxicity. Toxicity comes from the environment, environmental pollutants, benzene in the air, natural gases in the air, radon in the air, pollutants, carbon built up in the air, right? You got other environmental pollutants like bleach, cooking products, cleaning products within your household, azo dye, which is in your clothes, unnatural dyes seeping into your bloodstream. You see that, messing up your respiratory system by breathing in the basically messed up oxygen. You see what I'm saying? So that's toxins from your actual food that you're putting in your mouth. Cook too many cooked foods, not enough foods that have a bunch of lively enzymes inside of them. These things are called environmental pollutants or environmental toxins. Now, from these environmental pollutants and from these environmental toxins, like tainted water, arsenic acid in your water, mercury in your water. You see what I'm saying? Too much metals in your water. These are environmental pollutants and environmental toxins. Remember that in order for you to actually experience reality, you have to experience reality in your body, but your body is connected and interwoven with this environment. So whatever that's harming the environment will have to potentially be harming you. So environmental toxicity and environmental pollutants is what's going on around us, right? So this brings on an onset of deficiency. Because when the environment is toxin, it starts turning cells, or acidic waste builds up within inside of the molecular structure. When the body suffocates from acids, the cell suffocates from acid, it deprives the cells of nutrients, It deprives the cells of minerals. It deprives the cells of bioflavonoids. It deprives the cells of healing constituents. It deprives the cells of carbon. It deprives the cells of oxygen. This is a deficiency problem. But notice the deficiency problem came from the environmental toxicity. All right. So whenever you see toxins and toxins making inside the body, it stops the body from actually absorbing all the phytonutrients and healing constituents you need to rebuild the molecular structure. All right. You see how this is going? So next thing is, damn, I want to live. Everything that have life in this reality wants to live. That's the purpose, to live, to experience reality, gather this information and bring it back to your higher self, or who we call God. So it's going to do everything in its power to hold on until its last dying breath. You are no different from your cells, and your cells are no different from you. You have to remember that atoms actually makes up these protons, these electrons, and these neutrons. These atoms then make up cells. These cells then make up organs. These organs then make up organ systems. And then these organ systems make a full organism. And this organism is what you call a human being. So just like you gonna fight to your last dying breath, every 150 trillion cells that makes up your molecular structure is going to fight to its last dying breath. What it knows how to do is the same thing you know how to do. It's going to adapt. It's going to adapt to live. So you put your whole entire cellular structure in this environmental polluted toxic environment. So then that's going to bring on a deficiency where you're not getting the adequate amount of minerals. You're not getting the adequate amount of amino acids, of vital amines. You're not getting the adequate amount of H3O2 or H2O. You're not getting hydration. You're not getting none of the things you need to sustain your molecular structure or to sustain these very intelligent vehicles. So it's so intelligent, it's going to say, you know what? I want to survive. Because I have the will to live. I have the will to experience. Let me adapt to this toxic, deficient environment. You see that? So now the body's thinking, hold on. Let me actually adapt to this toxic, deficient environment. The only way that it can adapt to that, it has to mutate. This is where cellular mutation goes in at. And when you look at the word adaptation, it means to change, to survive. That's all it means. To change the state of mind, to change the state of body, to change the state, or to basically become one with the environment to survive. Adaptation. Then that's when the body be like, okay, in order for me to actually adapt to this environment, I have to mutate. And that's what they call disease. But this cellular mutation is nothing but a detoxification process. And I'm finna show you how. If you look at a cancer cell, cancer is running rapid out in the world. We got all of these different jabs that's going on that's bringing on the onset of cancer. Again, you got the environmental toxins. You got the heterocyclic amines from cooking meat. You have the acidic breakdown, metabolic waste of proteins. That process is super acidic because it builds up uric acid in the bloodstream and in the system. You have sulfur buildup from all the antibiotics. Everything that we're doing in this reality is giving us cancer. Cancer is literally the last stage of all diseases. When you go back into 1978, all disease was only one disease when you look in the Merck manual. Then when you look at 1981, when Henry Kissinger and John D. Rockefeller started messing around in Fort Detrick military base in Maryland, creating biological weapons of mass destructions to kill your living entity, then you start seeing that they started separating diseases. So then you start seeing syphilis get separated. Then syphilis gets separated into like 6 or 7 diseases. Syphilis broke into herpes. Herpes broke into HPV. Then herpes broke into HSV 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 16. You see that? Then you see the HIV epidemic just spread like a wildfire. You see that? But all of these was one disease in 1978. You think I'm lying? Just order a Merck's manual book off of Amazon and start looking at the B section of that Merck manual book. All these so-called diseases was one disease until they started creating a disease industry. Then you see the AIDS industry come up out of there. You see the cancer industry come up out of there. You start seeing all these, they started industrializing disease to make money. Before that, it all was just one disease. And that was environmental pollutants, toxemia, and deficiency. You see that? So look, let me show you how this works. If you look at a cell, Cells are made up of organelles. You have a body. Your body is actually made up of organs. Your liver, that's an organ, an eternal organ. Other people will call it an internal organ, but as y'all know, I say that we are eternal people. You look at your heart, that is a organ. It's on a certain tune and it's on a certain frequency. It actually have a rhythmatic beat by what you will call the sinoatrial. And this is basically the natural pacemaker of the heart. You see that? You look at your liver. That is a organ. You look at every different internal small part in your body. It's an organ. But you have to remember these organs are made of cells, just like your entire molecular structure is made of 150 cells. These 150 cells, if you look at them under a micro level, just like your body on the macro level have organs, on a micro level, your cells have something you call organelles, which means small parts. So yes, your organelles that makes up your cells actually have things that act like a liver. They have things that act like an eye. They have different types of metabolic functionings and tissues, structure functioning that act like a metabolism, a thyroid, an endocrine system. You even have the mitochondria has its own mitochondria in the cells. Your cells have a respiratory system. Your cells even have a bladder called the vacuole. The actual respiratory system in your cells is called the mitochondria. Your cells even have a backbone. It's called the skeleton, the cytoskeleton of the cell. The Golgi apparatus of the cell acts as the birth canal of the cell. So when you even look inside of the cell, like on a biology level, it have the same organs that you have. They just look different, but the same structure and the same functioning of these organelles act just like the organs that make up your body. All right, now you have to sit back and you have to ask yourself a question. If on a macro level I eat, that means my cells eat. Because my cells have a digestive system, just like my body have a digestive system. On a macro level, if I drink to hydrate, that means my cells hydrate because I have a bladder, yes, a urinary bladder to actually hold urine. And I have something called the vacuole, which is the bladder of the organelles that make up my cells that holds these same secretions as well. If I breathe on a macro level through my respiratory system, my cells go through something called a respiratory chain where they actually have to breathe as well by the mitochondria. And this oxygen actually gets sent to the cell, and this oxygen is used with the sun, right, called chromophores from the sunlight, ultraviolet rays of the sun, and every single cell in your body needs sunlight to go through all of its metabolic processes by way of oxygen. The last step is oxygen is turned into carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is actually turned into water, and then this water is used as fuel to fire off the cell and give the cell adenosine triphosphate or ATP for it can have energy for you can go around in life and experience and get all this information back from your environment to bring that data in, process that data to your quantum computer that you call a human entity or human body, and then you feed that to your higher self for you can expand the consciousness of the collective. That's the whole entire point and purpose of you being here in this existence. You see that? So if your cells have little tiny parts called organelles, just like your macro body have organs, and you eat and you digest food, and your cells eat and digest food, where is the food going that your cells eat? And these are the things that we have to say. If you wipe down bleach in the whole house and you come in the house and your eyes start burning because all of the toxemia and these chemicals are in the house and you can't withstand or hold the smell of that bleach, you got to open up every window because it's too plungent, it's too strong. Imagine what's happening to you on a micro level if you can't breathe in those toxins. You see that? Imagine. Same thing with carbon monoxide. When you look at carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, like if you pull into a garage and you start your car up and you close that garage door and keep that car running, you will suffocate. Is it you suffocating of them poisons, or is it your cells suffocating? And when all of your cells suffocate and shut down and you can't utilize oxygen and you can't utilize CO2 constituents or hemoglobin to pull oxygen from the cells, then your macro body die. This is cellular things that we're talking about. You see that? So the cells have to eat just like you. The cells that make up your body have to poop just like you. The cells that make up your body have to hydrate just like you. The cells of your body actually need phytonutrients just like you need phytonutrients. The cells of your body migrate like you migrate. They move around like you move around. They rest just like you rest. They communicate like you communicate. They even have whole communities. When you have liver cells, that is literally, liver cells is 1 trillion cells of its own. What about the gallbladder cells? That's made of about 30 billion cells. That's its own community of cells that's just working to keep the gallbladder strong. So we have to start looking at these things on a cellular level. So if you need phytonutrients and if you need nutrients and hydration and bioflavonoids to live and to sustain life, then that means your cells need the same things. All right. What happened if your cells is suffocating because of too many environmental pollutants, too many toxemias? What happened if your cell is dying because it's not getting an adequate amount of nutrients that it needs? It's going to shut down, and when it starts shutting down, it's going to get scared, and when it gets scared, it's going to say, I don't want to die. So it will choose to actually adapt to the environment, and by it adapting to the environment, it will mutate. Guess what the doctors call this mutation? They will say this is uncontrollable division of the cells. It's literally called cellular meiosis, all right, or cellular mitosis. And if you see that, and it's a gene that's not cutting off, and the cells is constantly replicating themselves because they don't want to die, what you would do is, from these symptoms, you will go to the doctor. The doctor will see the accumulation of these cells mutating to survive because you putting it in a toxic, deficient world. They will biopsy these cells, and then a pathologist will look at these cells under a microscope, and guess what they checking for? They checking for the lack of oxygen. They checking for pathologies or parasitical infections. They checking for the integrity of the cells, especially the actual membrane of the cells that's made of a cholesterol base. They checking for that structure to be broken. You see that? And they're checking for a bunch of toxicities and metals and microplastic. If they have all of these things in that cells, they deem it cancer. They deem it cancer. But they never stopped and asked, why did the body pull all of those damaged cells into one area? Why did the body keep all those toxins from going into the bloodstream? Why did the body give itself a fever? Why? See, so we have to change our perspective. Once we change our perspective of what disease actually is, there is no such thing as disease. There's only one disease, and that's detoxification. That's the disease. It's not mucus. Mucus is there to heal the body. Mucus have all the bioflavonoids inside of it. Mucus have monosaccharide sugars inside of it. Mucus come with T cells that come from the thymus gland. Mucus come with B cells, which come from the bone marrow. Mucus come with phagocyte cells that actually phagocytize something. They literally come in and engulf toxemia in the body to expectorate and get these things outside of the body. So mucus is not the cause of disease. You see that? Your disease is nothing but detoxification symptomologies. Point blank, period. Because you have been putting your body into a high pollutant environment, into a highly toxic environment, which causes the body to be very deficient in all of the vital nutrients and vital minerals that you need. When you're not getting the right amount of minerals to rebuild the body, because minerals or actually your electrolytes, these things keep conductivities and electricity moving and flowing properly. It works with what you call melanin neurotransmitters. It works with neurons. It works with dendrites. These things works with keeping, you have to remember, when you look at our bodies, we are not freshwater creatures. We are salt water creatures. We need potassium. You see that? We need potassium monophosphate. We need iron phosphate. We need celtic acid, or what they are called celtic salt. We need these things. These things are in our blood. It's called cations and anions when you get into biochemistry. The cations are always positive. These are your calcium. These are your potassiums. You see that? These are your magnesiums. Then when you start getting into iron phosphate and you start going down the list, you start seeing your anions. For instance, iodine is an anion. You're going to see a negative charge on them. These things put together go through a metabolic process, and then they stick and fuse themselves together like magnet, because you're dealing with a positive and a negative. And then when they fuse themselves together, guess what it creates? Salts. These salts then act like glue to stick the actual DNA and chromosomes together to rebuild your molecular structure. So you actually need minerals or salts to hold together amino acids. And when you hold together amino acids, it creates a complete amino acid structure. These amino acid structures is what the doctors wrongfully call proteins. And the reason why I'm saying wrongfully called proteins, because proteins have too many amino acids in them, and then your stomach or the hydrochloric acid cannot break them down efficiently. So what happens is the protein get broken down to little bitty pieces that's sharp at the end. So when it's going through the hydrochloric acid in your stomach, it rips up the stomach wall. Then it goes through something called the duodenum out of the pyloric sphincter, and then it starts ripping and tearing up the villi, or these hair-like structures of the stomach, and then it passes through the blood barrier that separates your stomach from the rest of your bloodstream in your body. And this is how you get leaky gut. This is how you get acids inside of your blood. This is how your internal organs start shutting down. So we have been bamboozled about what health is. We have been bamboozled about what food is. We have been bamboozled about what the true capabilities of our bodies. We have been wrongly educated. And you know what's crazy, y'all? I was reading a definition yesterday, because it was a part of my chapter of my book that I'm working on, and it was talking about education. So I started the first thing off with education, and then what I did was I read the definition of education in the etymology online dictionary, and it blew my mind what education was. All education mean is to rear a child, to train. It even went as deep to say to train with information, to train and teach social coding. Social coding, y'all. It said to train and teach social coding. So I'm like, damn, education just mean to train. It don't matter what the information is. I can take the wrong information and train you into believing and regurgitating that wrong information. And then once you believe and understand the wrong information that I trained you to believe, I can just tell you how to react to that, because it said mannerisms too. Showing you that education means to teach you or train you a specific type of information. And then once you understand, overstand, and understand the information, I give you the mannerism on how to react to the information in the environment. So it made me question something. Okay, I get what education means. It means to train. It means to instruct. It means to bring on a social coding. It means to teach mannerism. But what happened if the information that I'm training the children, that I'm training the world, is wrong? What happened if it's the wrong information? So we have been educated wrongly, and we have bought into that idealism to the point where we truly believe in these things. And we know that Bruce Lipton talked about in his book, Biology of Belief, that your belief actually changes the biological structure and functioning of your cells. So you will be taught that you have cancer, and they will give you this big C word with all of these long definitions, and they have you thinking that your body is actually at war with itself when God didn't make you that way. The Creator made you perfect. Now, I'm talking about on an average. I know some people come out and limbs be deformed. I know some people come out with mental illnesses and birth defects, but I'm speaking on an average. On an average or on a collective whole, we are perfect in nature. The Creator created us perfect, and we are a reflection. We are a mirror image of God, which is our higher selves. Your body was made with the capability of miraculously healing itself. But we have been taught disease. And they take the symptomologies of your body's adapting and mutating, and then they give these symptomologies big ass long words, and then they give you pharmaceutical drugs and medicines for them. And now you believe that you are at war with yourself. You start disbelieving in your body. You start having doubts about your limbs, about your cells. You literally start looking at your body like the enemy. You look in your body and you look at it like something is wrong. Only thing that's wrong is the toxins that you put in it. Only thing that's wrong is the minerals that you can't uptake, that you can't absorb, that you can't digest, that you can't utilize, that in the metabolic process that you can't eliminate. That's the only thing that's wrong. And the reason why that's wrong is because the toxicity. So if you can get rid of the toxicity, then you won't have the deficiency. If you won't have the deficiency and you bringing in all the phytonutrients and vitamins and everything you need to rebuild the molecular structure, there will not be a need for adaptation, which is the body's smart way of surviving. And if the body don't have to adapt to the toxic ass environment that these people have created for us and that you willfully put yourself in, there will be no mutation. And without the mutation of the cell is holistic and in homeostasis, or what we'll call a perfect balance of Ma'at. There is no disease, family. There is no enemy that's inside. The only enemy is the information. because they giving you the wrong information. The problem is, you want me to tell you what the problem is? The problem is you are being educated. That's deep now, B, when you really think about that.
That's right.
The problem is you are being educated. I don't want to be educated no more. Education means to train. I don't want to train up under these people that killed millions of us. I don't want to train up under these people that go to wars with other countries and kill millions of children. I don't want to be trained by people that had my ancestors in slavery for 400 years, whipping their backs, ripping them in half, setting them on fire. I don't want to train with a people that only if I stay low and don't know anything is the only way they can come up and maintain power. But the moment they teach me the right knowledge or the right truth, we break the economic system. So they will never teach us anything to truly liberate and free us, especially not health, because health is what really brings wealth. It ain't about this. You can have this all day. I hang around celebrities all day. Hundreds of $1 million. Ain't we around celebrities all day now, B?
All the time.
Yeah, but guess what they want? They want healing. That money don't mean a damn thing. So the true key to living is your health. Then the wealth come in with that. So if they teach you healing, if they teach you that your body is really not sick, then that's where you hurt them in their pockets. And then this whole economy will collapse. This whole structure, this whole Babylonian structure will fall. So they're counting on you to be sick. Mm-hmm. But again, what's the title of this video? Your body is not sick. It's just intelligent. You have been taught, and this is the big trickery. This is the sorcery. Can I tell y'all a story? If I can tell y'all a story, type some nines. I got a story to tell y'all. If I can tell y'all a story, type in some nines. And I really want y'all to write this story down. This story is a part of my book. If I can tell y'all a story, type in some nines. I want to go way back, too. Should I take them back, Nabi?
Take them back.
Let me sip on my apple juice. All right, check this out. It was a man by the name of William Ivory Rockefeller. He came over from Germany. He actually moved into upstate New York. When he moved into upstate New York, he had him a few children. One of his children was called John Davison Rockefeller, right? Now check this out. William Ivory Rockefeller, which was John David Rockefeller's father, he actually used to teach that he was a medicine man. He used to go around scamming people. He used to mix petroleum oil with alcohol and with tar, right? And he'd crush up minerals and he'd crush up herbs and put them together, and he'd go around from state to state because he was a traveling man, because he used to sell timber, he used to sell bark, he used to sell pigs, he used to sell turkeys. The dude was a straight street hustler, sell all types of things, but he claimed himself to be an actual medicine man from Germany. He used to go around tricking people and getting people for a bunch of money, y'all, a bunch of money. Well, he ended up having a child by Eliza Davison, which is nothing but Rockefeller mama, right? And if you actually look at her last name, his wife's name, it is actually Spelman. This is where you get Spelman College from. Even when you look at the names of these colleges, y'all, they are named after these people that's over the pharmaceutical companies. But anyways, John D. Rockefeller ended up growing up, right? As he growing up, he started doing the same thing. He started trading. He used to trade turkeys. He used to be a maintenance man for his apartment building. But he ended up taking on the trickery ways of his father, right? So what he did was, when he was 16, he actually got him a job for a brokerage company. And when he got the job for the brokerage company, he was real smart with math. So he used to bookkeep for the brokerage company. Well, he worked there for 2 years. After the first year, he asked them for a raise, and they didn't give him a raise. But through the 2 years he worked for them, all the brokerage deals and all the money that he was handling and bookkeeping that he was handling, he ended up building relationship with some of the most richest people in New York. So he ended up moving to Ohio. At the age of 20, he moved to Ohio, and he got an actual loan for $4,000 for all of the relationships he built from that brokerage company. So he ended up quitting that job, and he ended up creating his own brokerage company. And through his brokerage company, they gave him a $4,000 loan. With this $4,000, this dude ended up buying turkeys, chickens. He ended up buying rubber, all types of stuff, and trading it on the market. Within the first year, dude made $500,000. Now I know y'all saying there ain't nothing now, but we talking back in the late 1800s. $500,000 was a lot. So with that $500,000, he was going on a walk one day, and he noticed these things built up in Ohio, and he realized that it was an actual oil manufacturer where they used to take oil and dig it from the ground and manufacture the oil. So he bought into his first company, right? I'm gonna show you where the story's going because it get crazy. He bought into this first company. He buys oil and he starts to manufacture the oil. So he's manufacturing the oil, and while he's manufacturing the oil, he starts to sell oil for people because back then kerosene was high. The things that you use to heat your stove with, you needed oil for that. They used to boil oil. They used to light up oil on a fire to create lights. So back then, oil was like gas and electricity, and he had it nonstop. Dude ended up becoming a billionaire back then off of selling oil. But what happens, all his dirty businesses and all his backdoor tricks that he had going on, dude made so much money. He was the first monopoly in America, y'all. First monopoly in America. Dude had so much freaking money that he almost bankrupted the economy. I'm not lying, y'all. So what happened was in 1939, they came up with something they called the antitrust law. And the antitrust law was all to break up and dismantle big oil industry, Standard Oil industry, which was actually owned by John Davison Rockefeller Sr. So they ended up breaking up his company into all these different pieces. So let me show you how evilly smart this dude was. This dude was so smart. Remember, he was born in America, but his ancestral line is from German, y'all. He's from Germany. Around the same time, Germany had came out with all of these pharmaceutical companies. These pharmaceutical companies started in Germany as azo dye companies. This is where you still get your dye from today. The reason why you have a red dye shirt or a purple dye shirt or a black dye shirt is from azo dye companies. These dye companies actually started off in Germany. These German dye companies had became heavily saturated in the market, so they wanted to get into new things. So they got into synthetic pharmaceutical drugs, right? That's what they started making, pharmaceutical drugs. This is where you get aspirin from, Bayer's. All these are German companies that have now come to the Americas, but all these people was azo dye chemical companies. Now, if y'all don't know what azo dye is, it's a chemically based back dye. This stuff seeps into your bloodstream. It kills you. It gives you cancer. It's one of the #1 carcinogenic dyes on the market. And that's what you probably wearing on your skin right now, right? They took these same dyes and they started using them to make synthetic drugs, y'all. They was mixing these dyes with what you would call holistic botanicals. And then they was creating synthetic drugs by isolating the chemistry out of them. And this is where you get your first aspirin from that Bayer's made, right? So as the oil industry was going down, John D. Rockefeller had to come up with a great idea to actually bring his money back up, even though he was already a freaking billionaire. But he was mad because they had to break his company up in so many different pieces because the antitrust law that the federal government had made to dismantle his business because the Negro was finna monopolize the whole entire country and bankrupt the country, right?
Come on.
So he like, damn, I need to find another way to make millions of dollars. He said, let me holler at my German friends. I am of German ancestry. Even though I was born in America, I'm German, 100% German in my blood. So he said, how about this? I'm going to take my chemists that helped me do my oil refinery, and I'm going to use this oil, and I'm going to figure out a way to make metric tons of pharmaceutical drugs. So this is where the idea to literally take oil and mix oil with botanicals and create pharmaceuticals by John D. Rockefeller. So he took 27 chemists, 27 of them. He put them in the back room. He had to talk with them. He said, look, y'all, I already out of this crude oil that I've been making, that we made billions of dollars off of, we already made petroleum jelly out of it. This is where you get Vaseline from. That's petroleum jelly oil. That come from crude oil, right? He said, we gonna sell that to the Medicare companies. Any medical supplies, they gonna get the Vaseline. He said, with this other leftover stuff, we're going to make tar out of this. We're going to sell this to the railroad companies. We're going to sell this to the street pavement companies. You see what he's doing? So he's taking the byproducts of oil because he didn't believe in trash. So he took all the byproducts from everything that he used and he resold it as something else. So he's selling us the trash and shit, and we paying for it thinking that it's actually helping us out in civilization when it's not. So he came up with another sinister idea. He said, well, with this leftover stuff that we can't use for tires, that we can't use for petroleum oil, that we can't use for Vaseline, that we can't use from naphtha, bruh, that we can't use for all these other different things that I'm selling to the world. How about we make pharmaceutical drugs out of them? And they figured out how to do it. So when he figured out how to make pharmaceutical drugs, he needed to buy in the industry. At this time, there was a company called IG Farben, a German company called IG Farben. This was around World War II, right? This is when the Nazi regime was high, when Adolf Hitler was killing a bunch of German Jewish coverts, and they was putting them in concentration camps, and they was feeding them gas, Zyklon B gas, and I'm talking about killing millions of babies, killing millions of people. Right? IG Farben was a pharmaceutical company. But guess who IG Farben is? IG Farben is the people that made Zyklon B. They actually worked under Adolf Hitler. They helped him kill and exterminate millions of people. They literally created the gases and the drugs to do these experimental testings on people, right? So John D. Rockefeller ended up realizing who this company was. Tell me why he bought the company. He ended up buying so many shares in the company that he became the board of the company of IG Farben. So IG Farben, so the war over, Nazis end up dying. Then you have something called the Nuremberg trial. The Nuremberg trial was called crimes against humanity. They took all the Nazi regime that didn't get killed and they took them to trial in Nuremberg, Germany, right? And this time Henry Kissinger, John D. Rockefeller, your president, they ended up flying over there to Germany for the actual hearing. Now, this is what I'm thinking that happened. Because remember, Zyklon B is a mustard gas derivative, right? All these other different petroleum-based things come from Germany. That's where all of this knowledge come from. And they was using this to chemically castrate males. They was using it for acid to kill people. They was using it for gas masks to literally kill and torture people. Tell me why when the president and all of these other different people from America went over there for the trial and 11 people was actually tried to death for crimes against humanity. And one of the companies that was on trial was called IG Farben, which is still alive till this day. And I'm going to tell you what it's been broken down to. We still buying from these companies every day. These German Nazi regimes that don't like nobody trying to kill. Yes, mustard gas, y'all. Mustard gas is now your chemotherapy. You see that? So when Henry Kissinger, the Security Secretary of State of the USA, when they went over there, they made some type of exchange because Henry Kissinger and all of our representatives of America came back with all these ingredients, all these weapons of mass destruction. Because then you see chemotherapy pop up on the scene. Then you look at what chemotherapy is. Chemotherapy is a derivative, 100% derivative of mustard gas. Then you trace mustard gas back to Germany. Guess what this shit is, y'all? Zyklon B, which is the same chemicals that killed millions of people in the concentration camps in Germany. That same biological weapon that killed millions of babies and millions of adults now kill you through chemotherapy treatment. That's not the only one, though. When you start getting into your actual HIV immunosuppressant drugs made of the same ingredients. So anyways, so much heavy scrutiny had ended up happening to IG Farben after the trial and after the conviction of these Nazi regimes, right? After these Nazi regime, what they had to do was they dismantled the company. So they never stopped the company. They just broke the company up and changed the names of the companies. I'm gonna just give y'all one name to the company. Guess what? Kellogg. Kellogg is IG Farben. Kellogg makes all your cereals. Most of the cereals you eat is made by Kellogg. Then you start looking up what cereals and Red Dye 40 and stuff is doing to us. Guess what the derivatives is? Mustard gas, mustard derivatives, mustard acid, sulfuric acid. The same thing that's happening to them that happened to them in Germany in the concentration camps. The same thing that happened in your cancer ward with the chemotherapy happened to you when you eat cereal. The same ingredients your children eat every day in a bowl of milk. What about Procter & Gamble? That's another company. Am I lying, IB?
No, sir.
Procter & Gamble is another company that came from IG Farben. Guess what they sell you? They sell you all your hygiene products, all of your deodorants that causes you to get boils under your actual deodorant, blocking up your lymphatic system, giving you breast cancer. They sell you your bleaches. What else they sell? They sell you your toothpaste. Procter & Gamble, which is a part of IG Farben. IG Farben is owned by John D. Rockefeller. IG Farben is actually an actual company that participated in the killing of millions of people with chemicals. They still selling you chemicals. They just broke up the actual names of these deals And now they're selling you all of your household necessities and accessories every day, y'all. So your toothpaste come from IG Farben, which is owned by John D. Rockefeller. Your deodorant that you put under your arms is owned by Procter and Gamble, which is owned by IG Farben, which is owned by John D. Rockefeller. Your cereals, your breakfast, even what was it, Chef Boyardee? Chef Boyardee is owned by them as well. Let's not talk about all the pharmaceutical companies like Bayer's, aspirin, Tylenol. All of these is owned by the same exact company, y'all. So they are still using weapons of mass destruction. They are still using chemicals to kill us. They just changed how the weapon look. See that? The incarceration, the solitary confinement, the experimental drugs, the torture, the mass murder, the biological annihilation, that never stopped. It never stopped. They just changed how the weapon looked. And that's why this environment is so toxic. Ain't that crazy? That's crazy. And now these same pharmaceutical companies are now making drugs with oil backed, it's literally oil, crude oil. And they mixing these things with other synthetic type of materials, and they sprinkling a little bit of plant material on there, and they saying that these things can rid your body of so-called diseases. But it's not a disease. It's not a disease at all. Your body is naturally trying to heal itself. You see that? Now look, check this out. It gets even deeper. So he end up winning. Drugs are made. Drugs are made. Oil business is popping. All of the pharmaceutical drugs is running wild. So he like, damn, now I need to get into the industry. How am I going to get these drugs into the industry? So what he did was he hooked up with the Carnegie Foundation. Anybody know Andrew Carnegie? Look him up. This is another bastard that's crazy. Another mass murderer that we look at like he was just this charity giver and no, mass murderer. Now check this out. He said, I need a way to infiltrate the colleges. I need a way to infiltrate the schools. So he ended up getting in contact with Dr. George Simmons. He was over what you would call the AMA. The AMA. And basically, this is just talking about the Medical Associate League. And what they were the mouthpiece for the medical industry. But they ended up running out of money, and they couldn't run their journals no more. So what happened was John D. Rockefeller and Carnegie created a fund. And the fund was to give charity. So they needed money. The AMA, remember, they was the mouthpiece for all of the medical school boards. So they needed money. So what he did was he put like $100 million in his fund, and he put it all out there in the newspaper. Guess who came running? The head, Dr. George Simmons from the AMA. And he begging John D. Rockefeller and Carnegie, if you give me this money, just give me this money. I want to finish this project. What we was doing was we was going around to different colleges and making sure that they was teaching the right curriculum. So, John D. Rockefeller and them, he trying to get his hands in, the big pharmaceutical industry. Like, look, I'll give you $100 million, but if I give you the $100 million, I want to put what I want to put in the curriculum, and they're going to have to go by my guidelines in this curriculum. And if they go by my guidelines in this actual curriculum, I need to put somebody that's in my family on your board, and I'll give you the money. So, of course, he said, yeah. So, look, dude ended up putting Flexner. His name was Flexner. It's called the Flexner Report. Look it up, y'all. And what the Flexner Report is, it's an actual report where John D. Rockefeller, his family, and Carnegie and his family went around to every medical college that was teaching basically non-pharmaceutical ways of healing. Whether we talking about chiropractic medicine, whether we talking about Reiki healing medicine, whether we talking about herbal medicine, if it wasn't actual pharmaceuticals, they will give you a real low grade and make you close your school. Or they will give you the option to conform to the new way of pharmacology. A lot of people when turning over, they're like, man, we ain't teaching them ways. That's got bad side effects. So what they would do is they will quit funding your school, and they would shut you down. You see that? So then they'd go to other schools, and they'd be like, look, if you listen to us, and if you change and start teaching pharmacology, what we'll do is we'll buy you new curriculum, we'll buy you new books, we'll buy you new desks, we'll repaint the school, we'll fix the sidewalks. So they literally bought their way into the educational board of the medicine school by way of funding. They did this for 5 years. And they was on it hard, man. After 5 years, it started off being like 3,000 schools. The schools end up shutting, most of the schools shut down because they ran out of funding, because they didn't get funded by John D. Rockefeller, because they didn't want to push the pharmaceutical industry. So they end up shutting down completely. Only a few schools still stand, and they named after John D. Rockefeller. If you go to Georgia right now, you got one of them. It's called Spelman College. This is a medical college called Spelman. If you look at Spelman, Spelman last name is actually John D. Rockefeller wife last name. Think I'm lying? Look it up. Am I lying, Nabi?
No, sir.
Start looking up these Morehouse. Start looking up this stuff. You'll be like, God damn, this shit is crazy, man.
So they better get this too.
It's crazy. It's crazy. You see what I'm saying? So they ended up literally taking over the education system. The whole education system. Then once they took over the education system, what they did was they deemed anybody that sold herbs, anybody that believed in an alternative way of healing. First they switched it because it wasn't alternative, because these things was around for millions and millions of years. But once they came into power through the educational school system, they started calling alternative medicine they started calling herbal use alternative medicine. Then they said anybody that teach alternative medicine was a quack, and that they basically should be prosecuted, they should be fined, and they should be starved out until they don't have no more money. And that's what they did. And now today, we have this very dumb education where they're teaching us actual medication through their education and not teaching us that the body is naturally trying to detoxify itself. And this is where you get the illusion that they call disease. It's crazy. Ain't this crazy, y'all? And it gets deeper. It's in my book, man. My book get very, very deep into this stuff. But, man, this stuff is crazy. So we are walking around because believing in this education that you have been taught since before you was in your mother's womb. You've been taught this stuff. So you automatically think a cold is a sickness. You automatically think excessive mucus coming out is a sickness. You automatically think a sneeze and a cough is a sickness. But these are symptomologies of detoxification, and they not disease. You actually think cancer is a death sentence when it's the body's smart way of keeping things from the bloodstream for you won't die of acidosis. Every symptomology that you go through is because of mutation. The mutation happened because of adaptation. The adaptation happened because of deficiency, and the deficiency happened because of toxicity. Them are your 5 levels that create so-called disease. If y'all get that so far, type in some 9s. If y'all get that so far, type in some 9s. We gonna send the book out in December 15th?
Yeah, it'll go to the editor.
So I send the book to the editor on December the 15th, y'all. So it should be out the first of the year. I promise this is the best book in existence, y'all. I've never ever in my life wrote something so, I don't even know this book is so amazing. I don't even know what to call it. It's like the ancestors were speaking through me when I was writing this, man. It's one of the most amazing books. I think this is most definitely, I know I've already impacted the world, millions in the world, but this is going to impact billions, y'all. I'm telling you. This book will change and shift the course of history. I'm telling you. And it will be around forever. It will be around forever. Mark my words. There is nothing like this on the market. No, it ain't gonna be $5. I mean $500. They talking about it's gonna be $500. No, it won't be $500.
I see that.
When can we pre-order? We gonna start doing pre-orders once we get it to the editor. I want it completely done in the editor's hand, and once it's in the editor's hand, that's when there will be no ebooks on it. There's only gonna be hard copies. And then I'm gonna try my hardest if I can get Morgan Freeman. I want Morgan Freeman to do the audio on it, do the audio book. Morgan Freeman. Hey, Morgan Freeman, if you get this, man, look, I'll give you $1 million. I just want you to do the audio book. I can hear your voice reading my book. That'll be an honor to just hear your voice reading my words that I wrote, brother. So if you hear this, Morgan Freeman, like, I want you to do the audio for healing the illusion we call disease. That's right up your alley, man. That's right up your alley. I'll give you $1 million, man. I'll give you $1 million, Morgan Freeman. I just need you to do my audio. I can hear your voice, man, and I'm telling you, it'll be hard. Ashe. It's done. It's real.
They all tagging.
Yeah, tag them in there. $1 million. Tell them I'll give them $1 million. Yes. Morgan Freeman. Y'all got any questions? If y'all got any questions, I can answer them so far. I really hope y'all wrote that down. Matter of fact, let's go into how to heal these things. So we see that the first part was actual toxicity. So in order to get rid of toxicity, you really can't. The only way is by detoxifying. So you need to start detoxifying before your body is forced into a detoxification process. Because when it's forced into a detoxification process, the symptoms are even stronger. And then it makes you think that you have this illusion you call disease because of your subliminal programming or your subconscious programming. So the best way is you need to be detoxing at least 12 days out of every season. Now, there are things you can do with inside of your own household. Like, of course, get rid of toothpaste that got fluoride in it. Make sure that you're not using deodorant, using key limes and using lemons and stuff to actually rub under your actual arms. I've been seeing a lot of people use salt minerals to actually put under their arms as well for deodorant. So these are things you can do. Don't use any cleaning products within your household. If you want to use cleaning products, get you some lemon, some citric lemon or lime juice. Mix it with peroxide and put it in water. Use that to clean up. Make sure that your soaps are naturally organic, like West Ghana black soap. We sell soaps off the website. These are things that's good for you. Make sure that you're getting the adequate amount of sunlight a day, especially if you are of melanocytes or you're made of melanin and carbon. You need at least 2 hours of direct sunlight a day, because remember, every 150 trillion cells in your body, none of them go through any of their structure function without sunlight or moonlight. So you need that infrared or the near infrared light in you. You need all the light code spectrums, especially the ultraviolet B light in you, for your body can function properly. Make sure that you're getting in at least 50 ounces of liquids a day. Out of that 50 ounces of liquids a day, cut it in half and do 25 of H3O2. The other 25 you can do H2O. Make sure that your H2O is organic spring water that literally comes from a rock bed that's not contaminated. And if it comes in a bottle, make sure that the bottle is BPA free. If the bottle's not BPA free, then get it in the glass bottle. You see that? As far as your H3O2, like your juices, make sure your juices, this is apple juice, make sure that it's completely organic and that it don't have any herbicides, insecticides, or pesticides sprayed on it. You see what I'm saying? You have to clean up your environment. You're not going to get rid of all the toxins because they have polluted the whole entire world. But we can fight to get rid of most of them. And then the ones that we can't get rid of, we can detox them out every single season. Now, you do have things called forever chemicals. These forever chemicals are in your toilet paper. So we need to make sure that we get an organic toilet paper that doesn't have forever chemicals in them. And we need to be around environments that have a bunch of trees and water. Nature. And if you can't find it, create that environment within your apartment. Create that environment within your household. You can do these things. Go to Walmart. Buy you some plants. Buy you some plants that cleanse the air, that purify the air. Buy plants that have oxygen, a bunch of oxygen yielding from them. That way you can be cleaning the air inside of your home. You see that? I don't want to hear that you can't grow your own food. You can get into aquaponics. You can get into light therapy, growing things with infrared light inside of your home. If you have a window in your apartment, you can grow cucumbers. You can grow strawberries on your damn countertop. There is no excuse to fight what's happening, y'all. We are at war. This is biological warfare. This is psychological warfare. This is chemical warfare. We have to fight back. And how you fight back is you just do little things, little by little, every day. I'm not saying change overnight. I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you to change what you can control. And you can control what you putting in your mouth. You can. You can control what you putting on your skin. You can. You can control the water you drinking. You can. It's easy to go buy a water filter and filter out the arsenic acid. I'm not saying be like me and do a $14,000 water filtration system. You can get a $79 water filtration system, put it on your faucet. You can take bird baths if you have to before you get in the shower. Get some distilled water and use a bird bath. There's so many different things that you can do. We just have to stop with the excuses, y'all. You see what I'm saying? And then with detoxing, make sure that you detoxing all of your major eternal organs, or what y'all call internal organs. Get that liver. Detoxing the liver is very, very important because the liver is a part of what you will call a lymphatic associated tissues. The liver is amazing, and the reason why the liver is amazing is because it has something called bile. These biles that it creates and put inside the gallbladder helps kick on a detoxification mechanism, and it flushes. Not only do it flushes your actual intestines, your small intestines, your large intestines, but it flushes the cells as well. And it helps you kick on what you will call glutathione or glutathione, which is a major detoxification mechanism. Also, it opens up these elimination pathways of your cells called the NRF2 pathways. These are elimination pathways. They're alongside of the interstitial fluid and the meridian pathways of the body. You can do that just with sunlight. You can do that just by being in nature, grounding out, putting your actual feet on the ground, discharging your cells of all the protons and bringing in trillions and trillions of electrons, bringing the body into a balance of homeostasis. You can do that just by being by water. Being by water psychologically releases dopamine inside of the bloodstream from melanin neurotransmitters in the brain. This makes you happy. The happier you are, the more dopamine that you actually proliferating inside of the bloodstream, the longer you live, because you're opening up your body to help detoxify. You see that? Water. Make sure you're drinking an adequate amount of water. And last but not least, eating the right foods. You are biologically a frugivore. I'm not saying you have to eat all fruits. I'm not trying to pressure you into eating all fruits. But most of your diet should have more fruits in it than vegetables, than grains, than proteins and meats. That's it. And you shouldn't be eating no meat and dairy at freaking all, because that is very, very obstructive to the body. Meat is full of proteins. Proteins are full of complex amino acids. The metabolic process of complex amino acids is very acidic. They stay in the body. They bind chemistry. It suffocates your cells, deprive your cells of oxygen, and causes the coagulation of blood. Same thing with dairy products. It breaks down into lactic acid. It suffocates the cells and causes the cells to mutate, being very, very cancerous. So get away from the dairies, get away from the meats, and just make sure that you abstain here and there from the other things, and make sure that you have more fruit on your plate than anything else you eat throughout the day. 55 ounces of water a day. Get rid of all the environmental pollutants that's inside of your household that you can't control. And for the shit that you can't control, detox with herbs. Yes, herbs. Ashwagandha brings up the adrenal glands. Licorice root put the adrenal glands back online. Wild yams root brings the adrenal glands back online. Chaparral cleanses the blood. Burdock root cleanses the blood. Sarsaparilla cleanses the blood. Bloodroot cleanses the blood. Milk thistle cleanses the liver. Dandelion root cleanses the liver and the skin. You see that? Your berry kingdom cleanses the brain and bring more oxygen and antioxidants and anthocyanins to the brain. You see what I'm saying? You can cleanse every organ. Just do it every 3 months. Do a 12-day cleanse. This is called preventive maintenance. I've been living my whole life changing my environment, changing the pollutants that I can't get. I'm going to have the herbs detoxify those. This is going to make me be able to actually what? Get my minerals in, so I don't have no more of a deficiency problem, because I'm digesting. I'm absorbing what I just digested. Now my adrenal glands are utilizing what I absorbed. Now through my utilization is going to create byproducts, and my lymphatic system is moving and working so properly that I'm able to eliminate on a cellular level. That is health. And with that health brings wisdom and knowledge, and with that wisdom and knowledge combined brings wealthiness. Wealth is not in your pockets, y'all. Wealth is in your brain. If y'all get what I'm saying so far, type in some nines. Yes. Toxicity, deficiency, adaptation equals cellular mutation. Cellular mutation brings on a strong detoxification. These detoxifications bring on symptoms. These symptoms, you have been tricked and educated in believing that they are symptomologies of disease, when in fact, without a shadow of a doubt, there are actually symptomologies of the body healing itself. Y'all been hearing this here first. I know a lot of people go around and spit all my knowledge, and I ain't worried about it. It ain't even my knowledge. This knowledge comes from the ancestors, and don't give me credit. Who cares? Y'all know where it come from. Y'all know where the H3O2 came from. It came from Yahki. It's spreading like a wildfire now, and all praises. Healing the illusion that we call disease. That's all Yahki. It's starting to spread like a wildfire now, and all praises. Long as y'all getting it, though. But when y'all hear this, y'all know where it comes from. This comes from hard work, dedication, being in the field, and truly experiencing, and not just reading books and regurgitating. Really out here doing the work, doing the clinical trials. Yes, the Akashic Records. Facts. Y'all got any questions? What do you think about religion? I think religion is a good tool as long as you're not using it to oppress, you're not using it to manipulate, and you're not using it to triumph over anybody. I think it's a good tool. And the only reason why I think it's a good tool because it brings you discipline. And as mankind here in this world, we need discipline, we need structure. Other than that, I do not see the need for religion whatsoever. If there was a religion that I believe in, it would be the religion of nature. Nature would be my teacher. Nature would show me how to love. Nature would show me when to fight. Nature would show me how to protect myself and kill if I need to. Nature shows me what I need to eat. Nature shows me symbiosis. Nature showed me the devil. You know, nature shows me how people get hunted. So if there is any religion, it would be the religion of nature. That's the pure religion, going into nature and seeing how it interacts with itself and how it evolves and how it's self-sustaining and how the food chain works, how you see love, hate, and see all these different things that go on, but it still maintains a balance of homeostasis. That would be my religion. It wouldn't be to believe in something that's above me that don't look like me, though. You know, I believe that if I'm a reflection of God, then my God look like me. And even in that concept, that couldn't be God. The true definition of God, it wouldn't have a color, it wouldn't have a gender, it wouldn't have a body, it wouldn't have any of that. It'd be a very, very high conscious frequency that we all share. So in my research, and this is my opinion, in my research and through me living and through me experiencing, in order for God to be all-seeing, in order for God to be all-knowing, in order for God to be omnipresent and omnipotent, it's not a figure that's walking around in the kingdom and sitting on thrones or nothing like that. True God in its higher form will be pure consciousness. Because the moment that you put a gender to it, the moment that you put it in a body, the moment that you put a name to it, the moment that you can put a label on it and be able to really explain it, it couldn't be God because you have compartmentalized it. You can't compartmentalize God because God is everything. It's the essence and the makeup of all atoms and of all protons, electrons, and neutrons. It's very quantum. You can't weigh that. And if you can weigh it, trust me, it's not God. It's not the God we talking about. We are gods. There's many different forms of God. When you look at God in the Hebrew tongue, it's Elohim. That's actually my legal last name, Elohim. And that just means plural, many gods. But these gods are actually in body form, so they're not even the highest God. You see what I'm saying? Now, I do believe in demigods, and I believe the gods that we call on are all demigods, and they're not the Most High. The Most High is pure, energetic consciousness that we all share a collective hold on. Ashe. What else we got? Everything is a reflection of God. I believe so. Had to change the name to Heavy Detox. What's the importance of growing your hair? Your hair is very, very important. I consider myself a Nazarite or a Nazarene, so I will never cut my hair. But your hair is an extension of your nervous system. Your hair is antennas. And what it does through something called the Merkel's disc, it actually picks up signals from the environment and bring back electrical signals to tell you and your cells how to interact with the environment. So without hair, you don't have that type of interaction. So your hair is very, very important because your hair is an extension of your nervous system. And I have scientifically proven that in all of my lectures. So if you can grow your hair, grow it. If you can't grow hair, figure out what's stopping your hair from growing, which is usually excessive proteins and acids, and grow your hair back so you can truly express yourself through this reality. You need your hair. Your hair is important. There's no coincidence why you have hair on your vagina, you have hair on your penis, you have hair up under your underpits, you have hair on your face. These are not only protective mechanisms. These are not only just for protection. And you know, they say, well, the hair on your eyes, eyelashes on your eyes is to get rid of hair and get rid of environmental pollutants for coming to your eyes. I believe that. But what about the hair on your skin? They pick up signals. That's the reason why if you get scared or if you hear something very spiritual, the hair on your skin actually stands up. It's interacting with the environment. So the hair is an extension of your nervous system. How do you grow your hair back? Get rid of acids. Acids is the reason for all of our diseases. If you haven't been in a traumatic experience, you are suffering because of acids. If it ain't been traumatic, blunt force trauma, if you ain't get into an accident and literally had gouges pulled out, and that's the reason why you can't grow hair back, then like alopecia, that is an acidic problem. If you remove the acids from the skin, you will see hair grow back. This is acids. Acids is the gnarly side of chemistry. Acids is what burns you. Acid is what keeps wounds open. Acid is what causes scar tissue. Acid is what burns your hair out. Acid is what coagulates cells. Acid brings on agglomeration. Acid is not acidic. The alkaline base side of chemistry brings on life. It grows things. Things are more clearer, cleaner. Mucus is moving fluently. Things are not in coagulation. Things are running fluently. Tannins are involved. It thins the blood out. It increases blood flow. See, when you get into the alkaline side of chemistry, you see life. But when you get into the acidic side of chemistry, you see death when it comes to human. Because when you get on different levels, you know, I know some people that love acids. Bacteria love the hell out of acid. They live and thrive off of it. It's actually what they eat. But when you get on a human level, on our biological level, you know, that's what happens. Yes, acids in your teeth is what actually give you cavities. That's acids. They say, well, it's from sugar. Well, what did the sugar break down into? The sugars broke down and metabolized into acids. The acids started burning the enamel off the teeth. That's the only thing that can burn the enamel off the teeth. There is no other chemistry. You're only dealing with two sides of chemistry in nature, point blank, period. And that's base, which is alkaline, and acids. And depending on which one you have more than the other, because both of them is essential of life, because you cannot live if your body was completely alkaline. All that you got to be completely alkaline is bullshit. You would die being completely alkaline, because complete alkalinity burn like hell. You can actually die of alkalosis. That's complete alkalinity. You can't survive being completely alkaline. It burns. That's why you have alkaline batteries. Bleach is alkaline. Bleach is at a 14.1 on the alkaline scale. Go drink some bleach right now. You won't live to tell about it, because it will kill you, because it burns. So both of the extreme sides of chemistry burn. The extreme side of acid is acidosis, that burns to death. The extreme side of alkaline is alkalosis, that burns to death. You have to be balanced. That's the whole point. Ma'at. Homeostasis. And you do that by eating. Now, I will say eat an all alkaline forming meal, because, you know, what's crazy is all of your foods, all the foods that I recommend you to eat are actually acidic. Apples is acidic. Grapes are acidic as hell. Acidic. Walnuts, acidic. Everything that you think is alkaline is actually acidic. Then it goes through a metabolism or a metabolic process in your body, and it becomes alkaline forming. Google this stuff. This is common Google. Test these things out. Test these things. An apple is like at a 4.5 on a potential hydrogen scale. That's acidic. But when you eat that apple and it goes through its metabolic process and all the enzymic reactions, and it start buffering out calcium and chemistry, then that same piece of apple become very alkaline to the bloodstream. That's why if you test it before it goes in your mouth, it will read acidic. But if you check your poop and you check the ash of your poop after you ate that apple, your poop will have an alkaline ash left behind. See that? When it's left behind with phosphorus, they call it in too much calcium, they call it acidic. But if it's left around with magnesium and potassium and calcium, they say it's alkaline. They test the mineral ash after the mineral ash become a salt in your poop. And based off of the mineral ash that's left behind, that's how you dictate whether your food is alkaline or acid forming. Who gives a freak about what it tests when it goes in the body? We don't care. Most of it is acidic anyway going in. But most of the things that's alkaline going in comes acidic when it gets to your body. So we don't give a damn about what it reads on the pH potential hydrogen before we eat it. We want to know what it does and what it is it while it's roaming around in our bloodstream and through our intestines. That's what I'm saying. The education is what's wrong. We have been taught wrong. We need to be re-educated. It depends on. Your heart is associated with your tissues and your bloodstream, the cardiovascular system. So if you have heart disease, that means you have kidney problems. Fix the kidneys, fix the heart. Usually heart disease come from hypertension, high blood pressure. It can come from diabetes and all other stress-related diseases. Stress is bringing on stressful molecules to the body. These stressful molecules create emotional molecules. These emotional molecules create acidity in the body, and this actually what causes your actual high blood pressure or hypertension. This eventually we're on the heart, we're on the kidneys, and this bring on heart disease. And most of your heart disease is because of mineral deficiency of magnesium. Get more magnesium magnesium in the blood, get more calcium in the blood with magnesium and selenium, you'll notice that your heart disease go away. Remember, all of these detoxification symptoms come on by what? Toxicity and deficiency. You're either bringing in a toxemia or you're not bringing in enough mineralization and you're not utilizing the chemistry from the alkaline environment. Seriously. It is that simple. So yes, stop stressing. But we don't understand. We think stress is just by, having a baby mama that nag all the time. Stress is by having a man that, that's in a household yelling and ruling his house with an iron feet. Stress is having bad children running around the house. Stress is, working a 9 to 5 and you not being able to really express your abilities in nature. That is a part of stress, but you never think about the stressful entities and things that you put in your body called foreign matter. Foreign matter is food that you ain't supposed to be eating. That's stressful to the body. That's stress. Drinking soda pops, that's foreign to the body. That's stress. Them are polysaccharides. The body don't know what to do with that. That's sugar. That's complex sugar. That's stressful to the body. You see what I'm saying? Drinking alcohol all the time. That's stressful. Smoking cigarette. That's some of the most stressful things you can do. So when I'm talking about stress, I'm talking about anything that's not conducive for your body to be at peace. That's stress. Anything that stop your body from eliminating, that's stress. Anything that slow down your body elimination detoxification process, that's stress. Anything that brings emotional molecules that's not of dopamine is stress. Cortisol is stressful as fucking hell. Adrenaline that's produced by the adrenal glands, that's stressful. That puts you in a state of fight or flight. The cells can't do super multiple things at once. It's either going to stunt its growth to hide, or it's going to mutate, or it's going to grow. You see that? They can't do both at the same time. The cells cannot fight and protect and grow at the same time. It's impossible. It's impossible for the cells to fight and grow at the same time. It's going to pick to do one or the other. So if you stress all the time, that puts the body into a state of fight or flight. Fight or flight, it is worried for its life. It's trying to adapt and mutate. It ain't worried about growing shit. You see that? So that's why you don't grow new cellular tissues. Your cells supposed to turn, since me talking to you, on the average, due to the curriculum, which is could be wrong, but my comparative study shows I've been on here for about like an hour and 10 minutes. Yep. I have lost or turned over at least 20 million cells already. 20 million cells then died and been rebirthed in my body since I've been talking to y'all. Out of those 20 million cells, this is academics, I'm not saying to the T, over 10 of them 20 million cells was probably cancerous. But we running around this mug scared of the C word. You have cancer cells in your body right now. We all do. The problem is when the cancerous cells can't leave through the interstitial fluid because your lymphatic system is backed up, because your kidneys and your adrenals are down and offline, because you have too many environmental pollutants becoming obstructed in the body, blocking the actual driveway. So when the trash man come, he can't pick up and empty your trash can because you got too much shit in your driveway. Clean out the driveway. That way, when the trash truck come around, it can pick up all those acidic, toxic waste that you call trash, dump them trash cans, and go and take that shit to the waste field. And now, guess what? Your trash can is filled, so you can put more trash in it. You just got to make healing simple. It's very simplistic. When healing stop being simplistic, it's not health. When healing stop being simple, it's not health. When healing starts sounding complicated, it's about the money. It's about the money. When you got to think too damn hard to listen to try to figure out what I'm talking about, it's no longer about, it's about the money at that point. Healing is simple. Eat right. Be happy. Drink right. Get away from an acidic environment and you will be just fine. It says, any thoughts on someone who lost feeling in the legs? Lizzo X, there's two things when you start losing feeling. It's either a electrical problem, meaning a nervous system problem, or it's the lack of proper blood flow to the extremities. So with me, I like to do the process of elimination. I would do a nerve test. I will get an actual something like a pin or something. I will rub it up and down the fibers of my leg. And if you can feel that, then it's not a nerve problem. It's a circulation problem. And that means that you need to bring more circulation down. Something that's blocking or obstructing the blood from flowing properly. It could be a cholesterol built up in the arteries, in the veins. It can be thrombosis. It can be the lack of oxygen, and hemoglobin is not able to actually strip oxygen by way of carbon dioxide. It can be a bunch of things, but you're going to have to do the process of elimination. The first thing I would do is to make sure those nerves work. You have 1 million nerves in each of the cells of your body. Get a pen, rub up and down that leg. If they can feel that pain, it is not a nervous system issue. It's a circulatory issue. And to bring on the circulatory system, you can do things what I was talking about in the beginning of this video. Blood root is good for blood circulation. Grapes is very good for tannins. That will thin the blood out. Because if she do got cholesterol build up there, or cholesterol beta plaque proteins build up, you're going to need to thin that blood out to make it and maneuver through those vessels. So tannins, it's a chemical, a phytonutrients, or what you'll call a bioflavonoid called tannins, T-A-N-N-I-S, I believe. Looked it up, and they naturally found in your grapes. It's found in your oranges. It's found in your citric fruits family. It's found in your real astringent fruits. These things will happily break the blood down into a thin point before it can flow with ease throughout the bloodstream. And then also, if you go on my website, www.yahkiawaken.com, I have something called the Blood Builder Iron Nourisher Kit. And inside that, I have what you would call the upper and lower circulation tinctures and capsules. And you will get feeling the blood flow back. Immunodeficient virus. Peace, God. That whole word sounds crazy to me. For one, there's no such thing as the immune system. If there was, it would only coexist inside the lymphatic system. Deficiency. If there's no immune system, then what are you deficient of? See, so that whole word don't even make sense. And then a virus. Most viruses are made within inside of the entity. Virus. Now, if there is a virus, and they said that it came from outside of the actual body, that's not a virus at all. That is a biological created weapon. Let me say that again. If there is a virus and they said that it was created outside of the actual body, it is not a virus. It's a biological created weapon. Because all viruses are nothing but proteins. Proteins get broken down by something called the exosomes and the lysosomes of the cells. These are cellular organelles. They act as the digestive function structure of the cells. They are there to break down simple amino acid structures. Well, if you're eating complex amino acid structures, sometimes it's hard to break these things down, so they break down in pieces. When they break down in pieces, they break down into unbroken, undigested proteins, and they go around the bloodstream causing havoc in the body. Usually, that's where you get these detoxification symptoms from, and then they will say you have an autoimmune disease or autoimmune virus. Well, let me see your phone real quick. Just Google the word virus. I want to show y'all something, and I want you to read it out. If you can, Google the word virus. They tell you this stuff in their own literature what it is. Viruses come from the own body cells, y'all.
A virus is a submicroscopic infectious agent that replicates only inside the living cells of an organism. Viruses infect all life forms from animals, and then it goes on.
Google this question. Okay. Say, would the world exist without viruses? You wouldn't even be alive if it wasn't for viruses. The body depends on viruses. Viruses throw the body into a natural detoxification process. We depend on viruses.
If virus suddenly disappears, some bacterial populations would likely explode.
You hear that?
I said if some bacterial populations would likely explode without viruses, they might be out completely and stop growing completely. This would be especially problematic in the ocean, where more than 90% of all living material by weight is microbiome.
We need viruses. We depend on viruses. We depend on bacteria. We depend on germs. These things make up our biological structure. We depend on them. Without them, we wouldn't exist. You are not human. You are the bacteria. You are the virus. This is what I'm saying. We need to stop being educated. I'm telling you. You have the germ theory, the viral theory. They want to go to war against the bacteria, go to war against the viruses, go to war against your germs. Like, you have 150 trillion cells in your body. Out of 150 trillion cells, 100 trillion of those cells are not even human cells. They belong to bacteria. They belong to bacteria. So if we kill all the bacteria and viruses, we potentially kills us. It kills us. We're murdering ourselves. Yeah, I know, y'all. It's crazy. It's crazy. But look, y'all, November the 11th, we're going to be in Cincinnati, Ohio. Click the link in the bio. Buy the tickets. VIP will sell out fast. Get y'all some VIP tickets for y'all can meet me. Y'all can sit down with me. We can get some good hugs. We can take some beautiful pictures together. I'm going to be doing a podcast style event where they're going to be interviewing me live, asking me questions on the stage while y'all watching it. It's going to be amazing. Singing bowls is going to be there. Everything. They even showing a conscious film that's going to be there. It's going down. So make sure y'all meet me in Cincinnati, Ohio on November the 11th. The 19th, November the 19th, I believe, if from what we seeing, this is going to be our biggest event yet. November the 19th, we're going to be in the DMV area. It's going to be in Baltimore, Maryland. So Virginia, come out to see your boy. Come out to see the God King. Washington, D.C., come out to see the God King. All of Baltimore, all of Maryland, come out to see the God King. My favorite state, which is Pennsylvania, Philly, come out and see me. That's ain't number what, a 2-hour drive? Right. Come out and see me. Come out and see me. Come see the God King. We got a bunch of things in store. We're going to be talking about some amazing, beautiful things. We're going to be getting deep into my book. At this event, I really want to bring my book out. You know, start getting these things, because we finna start pre-selling in December. So I really want to show y'all how dope. This is the dopest book to ever hit planet Earth, I'm telling you. When it comes to health. When it comes to health, healing, knowing thyself, really healing the body. It's amazing. It's bar to none. No competition when it comes to that. Not saying that I'm even looking for competitors. But, it's that crazy. It's that wild. And it's all fact-based. It's all fact-based. So, y'all come see me. December, I'm going to call my Mama Kata. I should be in San Diego, California. I'll call my Mama Kata once I get off the phone with y'all. Everybody asking about Dallas, Texas. February, right?
Yeah, February.
January and February, we're going to do back-to-back. We hitting up Houston, then we hitting up Dallas. So that's going to be at the beginning of the Gregorian New Year. I'll see y'all soon. And then sometime next year, we doing our thing. Everybody asking when Baltimore tickets going to be for sale. Baltimore tickets are for sale now on eventbrite.com. But tomorrow, I'm going to post the official flyer, and I'm going to post a link. So if you're not, and the reason why I love it like this, because Ohio and Baltimore is far apart. So if you around the Ohio area, come see me on the 11th. But if you up that north way, hey, come see me in Baltimore and be more. All right, I'm gonna get up out of here. I gotta get back to my book. I love y'all. Herbal classes will be done next year. The herbal classes were predicated upon the actual book, because the book have a whole herbal section. I don't think y'all know how powerful this book is. I don't think they know now, B.
No, they have no idea. They couldn't fathom.
It's crazy. I've been working with this for 4 years. But look, peace, love, light, and healing. Peace to the guys. Peace to the earth. Houston Clinic will be open the beginning of the year, y'all. We've been busy. I just want to get this book done. Netflix should be airing sometime next year. All this stuff should be happening at the same time, y'all. We've been super working. We've been working so hard. That's why I ain't even had time to go live, y'all. Unless y'all just want to start seeing me live my life. If y'all want to see me live my life, type in some 9s, and I'll go live when we doing our thing. It won't be as much talking. Y'all just be seeing me, in the studio, doing my films. Y'all be seeing me writing my books. Y'all be seeing me in the clinic healing. Y'all be seeing stuff like that, but it won't be an engagement like this, because, I want to be present when I'm doing me. But if y'all want to start seeing that side of me and start seeing me living my life and, typing some 9s, I'll get content out like that as well. That way it won't seem like that y'all missing me so far apart, or that y'all haven't seen me in a long time. So they want to see me. Okay, I'm on it. I start doing a whole lifestyle. Now, I live a very, very luxury, lavish lifestyle, y'all. So don't be on here hating on me and you know what I'm saying? I make money before herbs. So if y'all see me out here and I'm bossed up and I'm looking good and smelling good, don't be like, Yahki done sold out. That's why I don't really even be showing y'all my private lifestyle, because I don't want y'all to be very, very judgmental, because I'm not saying I'm uppity or nothing like that, but I like to live, y'all. I really do like to live. So if y'all don't mind seeing me out here kicking it, living it on the oceans and yachts, driving, the best of the best, meeting up with people, meeting up with celebrities. If y'all don't mind stuff like that, I'll show y'all. But the reason why I hide celebrities and all of that, because the first thing y'all do is get on here and judge. You know what I'm saying? And y'all don't even know a celebrity is who gave me the money to actually do my first seminar to even be as big as I am now. Not saying that all celebrities are good, because you have some evil celebrities out here doing all types of satanic rituals and all of that. But all I'm saying is this: I be everywhere. So if you want to see me be everywhere, I'll start recording it and putting all of that out, and I'll go live more. That's it. They saying don't do it. They saying don't do it. Do it, player.
Yeah.
They say that comes with it. It does. It does. I just don't never want y'all to think that because I've been this way my whole life, you know what I'm saying? And I've never been a broke person, really. So I just don't want to think. I don't want y'all to be out here thinking that like I'm out here kicking it and not worried about the people, because that's far from the truth. I don't even have a life, y'all. I literally spend my life doing this. If I'm in my Maybach, I'm in my Maybach on a computer answering emails or studying. If I'm in a mansion, I'm in the, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not no boring person, though. I do like the finer things in life too. But on the outside, though, we own land. I grow my own food. I got acres of land. I'm invested. I'm a good father. I do a lot for the people. I'm very charitable. But you know what I'm saying? I love the finer things, though, and I just don't never want y'all to get that misconstrued with the message or the mission. So I tend to keep things separated. But no bull. Now B and J been telling me lately, like, man, they need to see your whole lifestyle. Ain't y'all been telling me that?
That's right.
They've been saying it, so we might have to do it. We might have to do it. But hey, Morgan Freeman, if you see this,
Morgan,
my brother, I will give you $1 million if you would do the audio book for Healing the Illusion We Call Disease, written by me. I'll give you $1 million. I know that's probably not a lot to you. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot to me, especially for an audio book. But I'm willing to give you $1 million, brother, if you do my audio book. I seen it in my dreams. I seen it in my vision. I seen it when I was astro traveling. I heard it. Like I heard it. I mean, everything. I can even hear the tone of your voice, the breaths when you read in my words. I visualized it so much that I know that it's possible. I know that I'm going to manifest this. So, you know, that's my offer to you. $1 million if you would do the audio book for me, brother. All right, y'all. I'm finna get up out of here. Peace, love, light, and healing. Peace to the gods. Peace to the earth. Peace. November the 11th, Cincinnati, Ohio. November 19th, Baltimore, Maryland, or the whole DMV. Come out and see me. Get your tickets. I'll see y'all soon. Peace and love. Go back through them notes, y'all. Go back through them notes. Study everything I said.